Welcome into the Rob Bro Show. I am Rob Bro. I am the host. You are the co-host. You can co-host today by commenting on the starting line chat line. The starting line chat line brought to you by Starting Line Counseling. Free 15-minute consultation there at the website, startinglinecounseling.com, or you can go see him in person. Starting Line Counseling in Gunner, Texas. We nearly had a Masters champion from Texas Tech over the weekend. Ludwig Aberg, I believe is how we've decided it's pronounced. The Swedish persuasion, who did not correct us at Texas Tech until like the last month he was here.
And he even said like it's Ludwig Aberg if you're in the United States.
Yeah, he almost prefers it that way, I think. But
yeah, in Sweden it's Ludwig Aberg.
On Masters coverage from ESPN and CBS across the board, I think we had Aberg, Aberg, Aberg,
yeah,
Aberg. I mean, I think we had 17 different pronunciations with.
Because he said it's an O sound because in Swedish it has an O above the A, and that's what gives you the sounding. That was the Don Williams clip.
He had a great showing over the weekend. Finished really strong, except for the double there in the last 5 holes.
Yeah.
Fought back really well. Had a couple of birdies after that to get back to 7 under. Finished solo second place, $2.1 million. Big time showing for the Red Raider. And just, it feels like he's been a pro for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
He was at Texas Tech in 2023.
Yeah. Last year was his first, like, sort of year on the pro tour, and this year's his first actually like full year on the PGA Tour. You know, he goes and competes at the Ryder Cup last year, makes a name for himself at the Ryder Cup last year in Rome. Just a really cool story that he made the Ryder Cup team. And Luke Donald was like, how can you not put him on the Ryder Cup team? He's one of the best young players in the game. And he goes and plays in his first major. And a lot of times when guys play in their first major, unless your name was Tiger Woods, things don't go well for you because it's a big stage. It's a tough course. Just the lights shine brighter when you get to Augusta in April. And Ludwig was able to have those lights shine on him and play really well. I think he's just an even kill dude. He doesn't get up and he doesn't get down. And I think in golf that makes a big difference. And I think he's got the game to be one of the better players in the PGA Tour for the years to come. And, he drives it well. His short game is really nice. And like I said, he's just cool, calm, and collected. And I think a lot of that has to do with Greg Sands and the program that Texas Tech is building and has. And it also has a lot to do with just God-given ability. And this kid's been given the ability to play golf, and he's using the most of it.
I'm sure if you went out with Greg Sands to recruit, he might tell you some of those things.
Right.
If you asked him in an interview, he'd probably downplay it. That's the kind of guy Greg Sands is. But
yeah.
Aberg is just a generational talent. I'm going to call him Aberg. Aberg is just a generational talent. You either have it or you don't. I don't think many people look back at Tiger Woods and say that Stanford coach really changed the trajectory of his career. But it is fun to have Red Raiders come from Texas Tech and go be successful elsewhere. You obviously have Patrick Mahomes. You have Josh Young. And you have, several others, Janine Becky, the works out there in the Canadian soccer team.
Yeah.
So it's an impressive list. And as soon as Aberg finds some success as a first place winner, you're rocking with him even harder. By the way, Adidas athlete.
Yeah, and that's Patrick Mahomes doing, by the way.
Mahomes and him both. So I'm sure you'll have some spring sports, fall sport action between the pair. Maybe we get that in the match.
There's no coincidence.
Mahomes Aberg versus Scheffler, Manning in a couple of years when he's in the NFL.
Yeah, Arch Manning. Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun
in the match.
You could do Mahomes and Aberg versus Scheffler and Quinn Ewers after this year, to be honest.
No, I mean, yeah, if he's successful in the NFL, we'll see.
Yeah, Ewers will be a rookie in the NFL next year or 2025.
No.
Yeah.
I want to give him a couple of years.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
All right.
And by the way, you won the Masters competition between the two of us as well.
I will
had to go to a playoff, but you had the winner on your team.
We picked 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The winner and the second place, and then nobody else we picked was good.
No. Rory and Joaquin Neiman both were our next 2 best players, and they both finished +4.
Yeah. So we had the 2 winners, first and second place.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was at least +4. I had +4, +9. You had +4, +5. Yeah.
My first pick of the draft, Brooks Koepka, finished 9 over.
Yeah.
And my last pick in the draft, the long shot, Ricky Fowler, finished better than Brooks Koepka. Imagine that. Yeah.
Did anybody from the Live finish in the top 10?
That's a good question.
They all burn out by Sunday because they only play 54 holes now.
It's a great question.
Not that I really care.
No, I don't either. I know that like the Jordan Spieth. Now he's not on Live, but Jordan Spieth doesn't make the cut. Dustin Johnson doesn't make the cut. Justin Thomas doesn't make the cut. Patrick Reed finished 1 over.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, DeChambeau finished 2 under, tied for 6th.
And Cameron Smith.
Yeah, Cameron Smith finished tied for 6 as well at -2. Yeah, I think everybody else is PGA guys that finished in the top 10. Not what's his name? Young. Cameron Young is on the Live Tour, right? Or is he still on PGA Tour?
No, DeChambeau and Cameron Smith were the best 2.
Okay, yeah.
Tyrell Hatton finished tied for 9th. Patrick Reed tied for 12th. Joaquin Neiman 22nd. The hefty lefty tied for 43rd. Brooks Koepka 45th. John Rahm 45th.
Yeah.
Sergio Garcia, Bubba Watson, Charles Schwartzel, Dustin Johnson, and Adrian Meronk all missed the cut.
Tiger Woods finished in technically last place, but he made the cut. 16 over. He shot an 82 on Saturday. His worst round of his career at a major.
Yeah. Yikes. I mean, are you surprised?
No.
If Tucker had done the Masters pick with us, he would have picked Tiger Woods.
He would have taken Tiger Woods, yeah.
Picks him every time. Alan says, remember when Ricky Fowler was a thing? Good times. He was the next hot thing. But all those guys, it seems like, have burned out. It was Rory. Rory was the next Tiger Woods.
So good when they were young, just because I think when they were young, they just were cocky enough and arrogant enough.
They were winning.
And, all those things in their game. They didn't care at that point. And they didn't have the obligations that they have now either. And Rory talks about that in Full Swing season 2 a little bit. This new Full Swing that came out on Netflix this past month, I guess.
It was Rory and then Spieth and then Justin Thomas's buddy.
Yeah. And Rory and
Fowler's in the middle there, but none of them really.
Ricky, he's had moments where he's won tournaments. He's been in the running. He won the Players a few years ago.
Yeah.
But Ricky's always been an inconsistent guy too. He's always been an inconsistent player. He'll be really good for a few weeks, and then Ricky will not make the cut for a couple. So, but he is still brand recognition. Puma. He built Puma and Cobra Golf. Like, if it's not for Ricky Fowler, those 2 brands are nothing in the game of golf, right? Like, let's just be honest. Really, the only other person who had anything to do with Cobra Golf was Gary Player. Gary Player was old by the time we were in school.
If you asked me who sponsored Ricky Fowler, I would not have told you Puma. I would have no idea. So I don't think Ricky Fowler's even built Puma as a brand of golf.
Yeah, he has, because everything that Puma sold for years was everything that Ricky Fowler used and wore. Everything you saw in the store was what Ricky
Where would
Fowler
you
wore
rank?
on
Where would
Saturdays.
you rank Puma as a golf brand?
Uh,
Last?
I've never liked Puma's golf stuff. Let me be
I
honest.
I didn't know they had golf stuff.
Yeah, I mean they got shoes, pants, shirts, hats, the whole bit.
Most,
But if you go back to the early days of Ricky Fowler, like 2010 or whenever it was that he came on tour, he's wearing the all orange get up. You know, he's a former Oklahoma State Cowboy, California boy, the long hair,
and nobody's following.
flat bill hat, all those things. And the younger generation became really big fans of Ricky Fowler because he was just different on tour. He was something that you didn't have to just mold into what everybody else was on tour. And I think that's what made Ricky Fowler so polarizing, was that, and it wasn't because he was winning a ton. Like he had a good game. He was good at golf, but he wasn't winning. But the way that he came on tour and was so loud and all those things of what he wore, it kind of broke the norm of what golf was looked at, as far as, it's a rich person's game, and you have to be a certain style, and you can't do this and you can't do that. And now golf has kind of changed into the style is how loud can you be. I mean, John Daly's of the world and those guys, they started
Ricky
pushing
Fowler,
the
by the way.
limits as well. So
Not because of Ricky Fowler. That was before.
what?
That was before Ricky Fowler, Dana.
Well, he didn't wear his loudmouth pants
So
before Ricky
Puma,
Fowler started wearing his
he
weird
did.
pants. No.
Puma is the 14th golf brand. You want to try to name the top 10 for fun?
Yeah, golf brands. Are we talking apparel or are we talking clubs?
This is the world's most Googled golf brands.
Okay, so I mean, TaylorMade would probably be up at the top.
Number
Callaway Golf would be at the
two.
top. Obviously, Titleist is at the top.
Number one.
Nike has gone away from making
Number
clubs,
5.
but they still make golf apparel.
Number 5.
Let's see. You have Cleveland Golf. Are they in the top 10?
They're right on the cusp. I think they're
Okay,
11.
yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Um,
They're ahead of Puma.
I mean, PXG.
That's 4th. You got the top
This
5.
is the most expensive brand out there, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Puma's on there. You said it.
No, Puma's 14th. They're
Puma's 14th.
Yeah.
King Cobra, is Cobra Golf on there?
Cobra's in there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the
a couple of shoe companies.
FootJoy.
FootJoy.
Yeah,
got
FootJoy. You have,
makers.
is Under Armour on there? Are they on the list?
No, they're worse than Puma.
That's not surprising.
No.
Really, their only big athlete right now is Jordan Spieth, and he hasn't really done much lately.
Let me give them to you.
Yeah.
You're missing a big club manufacturer.
Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway, Cobra Golf.
Real popular when we were playing golf back in the day. Ping.
Oh, Ping. Yeah. Okay.
Mizuno, which I probably wouldn't have said.
Mizuno's huge in the Asian culture and on the Asian tours. Yeah.
Strixon.
Brent Snedeker's brand. Yeah.
Adidas, which not really a golf brand, but in there.
They make a ton of golf apparel and golf shoes. It's popular.
Then Bridgestone.
Yeah, Bridgestone. Okay.
Bridgestone.
And that's what, Tiger Woods uses a Bridgestone ball now.
There's a lot on here that I've never heard of. Skechers is in the top.
Yeah, Skechers. Yeah.
25.
Matt Kuchar's brand.
Calvin Klein is out there.
I'm sure Ralph Lauren is somewhere on there, even though they've kind of gone down the last couple of years because Justin Thomas is no longer with them.
No, I don't see Ralph Lauren on here.
Yeah, I doubt they're on there.
Another funny one is Garmin. I guess rangefinders.
Rangefinders, yeah. Rangefinders and golf course GPSs, yeah.
All right, moving on. Texas Tech baseball also playing over the weekend. Let me ask you this. Even with the loss, the series loss, I'm going to go back to the UCF series.
Okay.
Before the UCF series, would you say that you trusted Texas Tech pitching?
No.
Since the UCF series, would you say you trust Texas Tech pitching?
The first 5 or 6 names that come to the top of mind, yes. After that, no.
Why? I 100% trust the pitching right now.
I don't trust the guys that you threw out there against Stanford on a Tuesday.
The guys that made their debut,
runs.
Carson.
That's
the guys
what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
I trust the 6 guys that you're going to get, 6 or 7 guys that you're going to give the ball to. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
In key moments. Yeah. Right now, I think that your pitching is better, as good as you have all season long. Yeah.
As a rotation.
Yeah.
And then
move Jack Washburn into the bullpen.
Sanders, Washburn, Kutera. I mean, you're 7 or 8, 9 game names deep right now. And
I'm even okay with Max Huffling
2 names
right now.
deep before that UCF game? Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, this pitching staff has been much, much better. You lose, I think, 2-1, 2-3.
Yeah.
Against UCF. You've lost, I think, 5 Big 12 games by a total of 7 runs.
7 runs, yeah.
It's just, you're so close, and it was your defense that killed you against UCF and TCU, quite frankly. And the offense being in positions to get it done and just flat out not getting it done.
Yeah, not getting it done. Yeah, not doing your job, not executing.
At the top of the 9th, down 1 against TCU, and you do not move that runner over a single base.
So I didn't get to watch the game yesterday. I was doing another college's games on their TV broadcast, but so I didn't know what the situation was. I assume you had runners at first and second, nobody out. Did you bunt? Did you try to bunt?
Double walk, ground out.
So you didn't even try to bunt. And that's an issue.
Not a sac fly, a weak fly ball.
Yeah.
And then with 2 outs, it doesn't matter what happens. But yeah, the first 2 outs that inning are.
See, I have an issue with the way sometimes Tim Tadlock. Listen, I think Tim Tadlock's a great manager. I think he's a great coach. Sometimes he plays the analytic and plays this new age game more than probably he should. Like runners at first and second, no outs. You're down by a run in the 9th. You've got to manufacture a run, right? Like you need at least one. And you got to bunt them over and just lay a bunt down, man. You got 2 runners in scoring position. Now a ground ball to the second baseman or a fly ball to the medium depth outfield scores a run and we're tied. Instead, it sounds like they just swing away, hit a ground ball and then, they can't finish the job because if you bunt, like I said, a ground ball or a pop-up does the job. I was watching Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I think you were watching the same game as I was that night. And, in the 9th, might have been the 10th, where it looked like Ole Miss was done. There's the winning runs on third base, and all this kid with 1 out, all this guy's got to do is just hit a fly ball, right? Just hit a fly ball to the outfield, gets up 3-0 in the count, and then he strikes out. Like that's not what your team needed. He's trying to hit bombs, taking huge hacks, trying to hit a walk-off homer instead of just doing your job, flip one out into right field, and let's win a game.
Here's the top of the 9th. Gavin Cash doubled to left field on a 1-0 count. Gage Harrelson walks after starting 3-0. I mean, up 3-0 with Harrelson up there.
Yeah.
Who came in for Damian Bravo after an injury. I mean, that's the bunt right there. Right?
Yeah, that's the bunt right there. You could bunt him. You could bunt Kevin or Cash over to third base
because he
and Harrelson might have a chance to beat it out if he lays it down well.
I mean, it's 3-0. They have to throw a strike there, right?
Yeah, got to.
So why not?
Or you take strike 1 there and then you bunt on the next pitch.
And
because he's got to throw you another strike too. Yeah.
Anyways, he walks and then you go weak line out to right field weak fly out to left field on an 0-2 count and an 0-1 count. And then Woodcock's strike, looking backwards.
Yeah, in the game.
Yeah,
It's tough because, you know, as a person who, and you and I both probably have the same view of this. I know you might be more analytical and think that, you know, bunts are outdated and all those things, but the new way of thinking in baseball is like bunts do no good. You know, what's the point of bunting? Like, there's a big point in it. I'm so old school in the way that I feel about the philosophy of baseball, I guess, that I think a bunt has a time and a place. Now, am I bunting in the fourth inning with runners at first and second and nobody out? Probably not. Like, but when you have to manufacture a run to keep a game moving, you've got to be able to do something like that. And as a coach, you've got to be able to trust your guys to get the job done, right? Like, that's what it comes down to. And it comes down to execution and things of that nature. And Texas Tech didn't execute as well on the offensive side or on the defensive side as they needed to. The pitching was good all weekend long, right? There's one pitch Jack Washburn wants back. You know, Mac Hewer didn't throw well in the bottom of the first yesterday, but he rights the ship and is able to get through 3 2/3. And then your two guys out of the bullpen just hang zeros.
You give up 4 runs on Sunday to TCU.
Yeah.
That should be a win, especially after they unloaded.
Yeah, they were done.
3 or 4 innings from Abelt and Cole Klecker.
And Cole Klecker. Yeah.
I mean, they threw the boat at you on Saturday to win that game.
Because they had to win. They had to win Saturday.
And you can't scratch across more than 3 because all you try to do is hit doubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
selfish baseball is what it is.
Well, yeah.
It's selfish baseball.
You've not been very competitive in late game situations against Big 12 teams. You just haven't been. And you had a lot of situations. Again, if you're losing by 1 or 2 runs, you have situations late in games where you have the opportunity to tie or win the game, and you just don't. You haven't done it. I think you have the one walk-off with Stripling.
Yep.
But it just doesn't seem like this team has that. We're going to win at all costs. Get them down and get them over, or just hit the damn home run and slap the bat on the ground. They don't have that killer instinct.
Yeah, it feels like that this is a team that's just waiting for someone to go up there and hit a bomb, right? Like, that's how they think they should score runs. You know, small balls for losers. We don't do that. That I have an issue with. Like, here's the thing. Anything I could do to help my team win, I'm probably going to do it. Even if they don't call a bunt. Like, lay a bunt down, man. Just go up there and lay one down. I get the fact that everybody says, well, if you lay down a bunt, you're giving up an out. And he could have very easily, hit a ball in the gap and it scores 2 instead, and we don't give up an out. But still, in that situation, I think you have to move the runners. You've got to be able to put 2 runners in scoring position. And with the way that the bullpen had thrown yesterday at the end of the game, why wouldn't you try and put the go-ahead run at second base in scoring position, take the force off everywhere? But they didn't do it, and it didn't work out for them. And Texas Tech's going to Fayetteville, Arkansas today and tomorrow, and with their tails between their legs a little bit, feeling like they gave away a series, because that's what it feels like.
Tomorrow and Wednesday, I believe.
Tomorrow and Wednesday, my bad. Today's Monday. So yeah, it feels like you gave away a series to me. Yeah, and that's kind of the second time that's happened, because the Baylor series felt the same way, right? Like, pitch well, can't score runs.
After 8 straight wins. UCF too.
Yeah, UCF too. Yeah.
Gave
can't
away
manufacture
UCF.
anything.
You lose 4-5, you lose 1-2, and then you win 3-2.
Yep.
Go back to Baylor. Well, you ended up giving up. Baylor, you lost 1-5 and 2-7.
Those games were close until the end of the games.
They were close until a little later. And then Texas, you lose by 2 on Sunday, 7-9, and we're not competitive at all at the end of that game.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Friday night game, we don't have to mention.
No.
And then the non-cons, you didn't have any close games. You either won big or lost big.
You played a very, very weak non-conference schedule.
Past opening weekend, yes.
Past opening weekend, yes. Yeah, past opening weekend.
Or past that first week through Oregon State.
Right.
Yeah, Texas Southern Gardner-Webb, New Mexico. That's your entire non-conference.
Yeah. Even ACU last week in the midweek. Like they're not very good.
Okay,
this midweek's going to be tough.
All that being said, you still have Arkansas and then West Virginia in Lubbock.
Yep.
And then Oklahoma in Lubbock after a series of Kansas, and then Oklahoma State in Stillwater. The three teams ahead of you in the Big 12 standings, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, you have all of them on your schedule.
Yeah.
If you talk about controlling your own destiny, if you go 9-0 there, you're arguably a Big 12 champion, depending on what else happens in the league. Do I think that's going to happen? No.
No.
You'll probably lose one of those series. You might win two of them. Hopefully you win the two home series. But you have 4 series left, and the Big 12 is crazy. I mean, it's legitimately nuts, this league right now.
Yeah, they're saying that the Big 12 could possibly get 6 or 7 teams into a regionals, and they're saying that it's not because the struggle for these teams is not because the league is bad, it's because the league is so good. It's what people are saying.
By the way,
D1 baseballs and Baseball Americas of the world.
By the way, Baylor 8-7 in conference play now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're technically behind Baylor and Texas because of win percentage. They've got 9 and 8 wins apiece, 9-6, 8-7. But the teams actually ahead of you, 10 wins, Oklahoma State 10-5, Oklahoma 11-4, West Virginia 11-4, Texas Tech there at 9-9. You have the world in front of you. Do I think you're going to win a Big 12 championship? No. But can you still be a tournament team? Yes, absolutely. This team is still good enough to be in the NCAA tournament. I did not think as strongly 3 weeks ago, but I think the last 3 weeks, especially that 8-game streak you went on, and how good your pitching has looked, even in the 2 series losses, I think this offense gives you a puncher's chance. You just have to be more consistent. And you have to lay down a bunt after a leadoff double.
When it's warranted, yeah.
After a leadoff double down 1 in the 9th, you have to bunt.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Or you have to pound one in the dirt. If you can't bunt, you have to pound one in the dirt to third base. Or, wherever.
Yeah, or just if you're a right-handed hitter, hit a ground ball to the second baseman or the first baseman. That moves the runner over just as much too. Yeah. Like if you're Gage Harrelson in that situation, you're looking for a pitch inside that you can hit, right? Like we were taught those things early in my playing career. Like you're taught those things as a youngster whenever I was moving up. And it's like there's a runner at second, you got to get him over. Right. And there's not a whole lot of that mentality anymore in baseball. It's lift and separate and let the ball fly. Right. Like how much exit velo can we get on something? There's no more X's and O's. It's all about how hard can I hit the ball? How hard can I throw the ball? There's no baseball IQ really anymore either. If you just watch and D1 baseball all the way down to small time high school baseball. It's all this mentality of it's a little bit selfish of I want to hit a ball as hard as I possibly can. Even in a situation where say the winning runs or the go ahead runs at third base with less than 2 outs. It's like I was talking about the Ole Miss kid from Friday night or Saturday night. It's, the winning run standing at third base or the tying run was at third base. Winning run was at second. And you get up 3-0 in the count, and then you're just taking massive swings when all you need is a fly ball or a ground ball to the right side, right? Just gets a run in. So that's where the state of college baseball, the state of Major League Baseball is too. It's how hard, how fast, how many homers can I hit? I don't care if I strike out 500 times. If I hit 35 home runs, that means I'm good. And I have an issue with that. I have an issue with the way that baseball is going because it's going to a point where it just is. You might as well just make it the All-Star game every year and it be a home run derby.
By the way, do you know who has the most wins in the Big 12 overall?
The most wins in the Big 12 overall, like the whole record season-wise?
Yeah.
Probably Oklahoma?
Texas Tech.
Oh, Texas Tech. Okay.
26.
Well, yeah, I mean, they played Texas Southern, Gardner-Webb, and yeah.
Well, all the teams have probably 6 wins on their schedule that
yeah, that's true.
You kind of can blink an eye at. But
I'll tell you what, though, I watched Oklahoma State this weekend too, and that team looks like they are, and they struggled early a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, a little bit. But Oklahoma State has kind of figured some things out.
Yeah, they lost to Utah Tech.
Yeah, Josh Holliday's figured his pitching staff out. He's figured the lineup out. They're starting to play really good, really nice baseball. And anytime they play at Oberate, they're always good.
Yeah.
And yeah,
always.
I think
not always.
Not always, but
Texas
it's a
Tech
tough place to play.
Pretty good.
Tech hasn't played at Oberate yet, have they?
Didn't they sweep them in the very first year it was open?
Oh, might have been. Yeah, it could have been. I couldn't remember if that was at the old stadium or at Oberate. I thought last year was the first year Oklahoma State played at Oberate.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've also years start running together when the older you get. So,
trying to see. Let's see. Yeah, you swept him in 2022. Where'd you play in 2022? Oberate Stadium opening 21. Hey, you swept him at Oberate.
Okay.
Because I remember his dad on the call, Holiday's dad on the call, just pissing and moaning.
Is that who does the color commentary for them?
Yeah. At the time.
He is.
Still does.
Whoever does it, if you go watch an Oklahoma State game, which Tech fans will watch.
Is he pissing and moaning the whole time?
He is the most negative human being I've ever seen.
That's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. It is ridiculous. And it's not just to Oklahoma State guys. It's to the other team too. He's like, yep, can't throw a strike. That's not very good.
Oh, he hammered.
He may be able to throw at 92, but he's not good. Look at that ERA. That's terrible.
He hammers the other team. It's hilarious.
Why is this guy on TV?
Because it's his dad.
Yeah. It's brutal. And you can tell the guy that's doing the play-by-play, he's like, oh, gosh, why do you say these things?
Yeah. Overreaction. Aberg will win the Masters in the next 3 years. I don't know that that's
sure hope so.
I don't think it's an overreaction. I think he is primed. He'll win a major in the next 2 or 3 years for sure.
I think he might win a major this year. Like, that's how good he's playing.
Yeah, maybe.
At the U.S. Open or the British Open. I mean, watch out now. Watch out. It was cool to hear them talking up the South Plains and West Texas and Texas Tech University and all those things when Aberg was coming off the green at 18 yesterday. And that was really cool to get recognition. And obviously they told the story of how he and his girlfriend met. She's a tennis player. She was a tennis player here at Texas Tech. Came from England, I believe. That's where she was from. And, Ludwig came from Sweden. So, it's a really cool story for Tech fans. We've never had someone who is a golfer like this, right? Like, it just is, it's fun to see. And
we as in Red Raiders.
Yeah, we as in Red Raider fans. Yeah. So it's fun. It's just like, whenever Tony Battie was playing in the NBA. I remember as a kid, Tony was always one of my favorites. When we were growing up, my dad was in the SID office at Tech, and Tony was always one of our favorites. And he was playing in the NBA. I didn't care what team he was on. That was my favorite team. And because Tony Battie was one of my favorite players. So, and I still dislike the Lakers for many reasons, but that Darvin Ham's there. I want Darvin to have some success. It's anytime that you see people that you looked up to when you were a kid or knew or know, it's always fun to just follow their careers and kind of claim them as a West Texan, because I think we take a lot of pride in where we're from and all of those things.
Sure.
No matter, what other people say about Lubbock and West Texas, this is a special place. And I think Ludwig said the same thing in an interview earlier this year as well, how much, Texas Tech meant to him and in his college career and all of those things.
He was amazing yesterday, poised, primed for it. Insane how well he handled the pressure. Yeah. Just eating snacks on the turn, hanging out. Some guy slapped his protein bar out of it.
Yeah, and which commentator said it? They said, there's nobody I think that smiled more this weekend than Ludwig Aberg. Like, nobody smiled more than this guy. He was just really happy to be there. And I think that for him, for a lot of guys, if I went and played in the Masters, I probably wouldn't be able to hit a ball off the first tee. I'd shank it, right? Because I'm so stinking nervous.
Oh, here's a question for you. If you started on the green from the furthest point from the hole on the green, but you just putt, could you win the Masters? Everybody else is starting from the tips.
Yeah, I could win.
They're having to hit it all the way down.
Yeah, if I get a good green book, like good read book, I could definitely
Everybody has a
could lag putt and 2-putt every green for sure.
2-putt every green?
Maybe there'd be some triples and there'd be some
like
3-putts in there.
150 feet at some points.
There could be some threes. There could very well be some 3-putts in there too. But I still think that you're not going to bogey a hole if you're on the green already in shot number 1. There's no way.
You would bogey a par 3.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. That'd be a 4-putt. That'd be a 4-putt green.
You get the par 5s where you get 5 putts to do.
But if you tell me that all I got to do is just hit it close and 2-putt everything, I could probably do that for most.
I think I would.
I think if you play enough, you would think.
I think I would be in contention for sure.
Yeah.
I putted a lot in high school because I was the golf manager.
Yeah.
So I'm a pretty good putter, but I've not putted in a while like that. I would, if you gave me a week to go putt 1,000 times a day, and then put me in the Masters, I think I could be in contention. I don't know that I would win straight up, but I would be in contention if I started on the green.
The putter has always been my best club in my bag, so I'm really confident in the way I putt. Not so much if I have to hit the ball off the tee. If I can hit the ball off the tee and have a 7-iron or under, I feel pretty good about my game, especially once I get on the green. And it's not like I'm this great golfer, but I think I could be in contention, if not win the Masters, if you just put me on the green for 1 and I have to 2 or 3 putt every green.
Yeah.
Like I'm eagling every par 5.
Every?
Yeah, because you just have to 3 putt.
Yeah. All right, 2 more things from me. First, did you see Boban over the weekend?
I did not.
He missed a free throw. He plays for the Houston Rockets now.
Right.
He is in, where was he? He's on the road. The Clippers, maybe? Maybe he's in Los Angeles.
I don't follow the NBA.
Anyways, he misses his first free throw, and the fans start chanting, miss again. If he misses again, the crowd gets free Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah, so I'd be chanting at every miss too.
He looks around, everybody screaming, and he's like, I got you. He points around, he says, I got you. And he's like, I got you. And he misses on purpose. And throws his hands up. It's a close game.
Boban's a man of the people, man. He's a man of the people.
if any. He puts his hand to the crowd. It was pretty funny. Second little
awesome.
bit of business. The Baylor Bears. Did you see this? The Baylor Bears are going to not have their spring game. The spring game is scheduled. They're not going to have it. They're instead going to have a regular practice and are not going to air it on TV or stream it anywhere. They've canceled that aspect of it.
Huh.
Would you say this is Aranda being Aranda, or has Gary Patterson got a hold of this program and is putting the death grips on it, and he's going to wrest control away from Dave Aranda?
I think it's one of those deals where, and look, I'm not a big fan of spring games. I think they're a joke. Like, what's the point? I could go out to practice today and watch them scrimmage each other, and it's the same exact thing they're going to do in the spring game, right? Like, spring games are a joke. It's just a good way to keep your fan base involved. Let them see, some of the things that might happen. But there is not a spring game in the country that will make you feel like, oh, this team's going to win a national title next year. Like, spring games are a joke. So good on Baylor for not doing theirs. That's how I feel. Like, for Texas Tech going to Midland, I think that's stupid. Like, who cares?
There's construction.
I know. I could care less if you played a spring game, to be honest. Like, Ole Miss, I liked what Ole Miss did. Did you see what they did? Made a 50-yard field, and you have 4 downs you got to score. You get 1 first down, and then you got to go score. Like, that was their spring game. So I think there's some
part of it, or the whole thing.
The whole thing. They painted. Did you not see that? They painted the end zones 50 yards apart. Like, it was just the field. There was nothing going on the other side of the field.
No, I didn't.
At Vaught Hemingway. Yeah. They were just going. It was a tiny 50-yard field.
Interesting.
And then, Alabama's A-Day is what they call it. They had 72,000 people in the house to watch a spring football game.
How many people are in Midland for the red and black scrimmage?
5,000.
Maybe.
Yeah, 5,000. Maybe.
We'll see.
But, and people in Alabama don't have anything else to do. Like, I guess.
People in Midland there's the beach in Midland. You got to remember.
Yeah, you can go to the
down to the beach in Midland.
And Alabama is also a different breed of football powerhouse than Texas Tech is, but still, I think spring games are a joke, absolute joke. I think they're a waste of time. I think that there's nothing that you get out of a spring game that you can't get in a closed scrimmage on your own, right? Like, the only thing, like I said, the only thing they run spring games for is to keep fans energized and let the fans see you and all those things.
Yeah, I don't know why you're being
the game itself is an absolute joke.
Yeah. Well, nobody's arguing it's not.
Yeah. And like for Texas Tech, it's not like Baron Morton's not playing.
Taj Brooks
Taj Brooks is not playing. A lot of people are probably not going to play.
All the pass rushers, I think, are hurt in the spring.
Yeah. Nobody's doing anything. You're going to see a bunch of youngsters, guys that are trying to earn, depth chart spots.
Good for them.
I understand that. Good for them. But still,
by the way, Don Williams,
you're not going to learn a whole lot about what your team is in April.
Don Williams tweeted Cam Brown is throwing 70% completion percentage in spring practice, which is either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
It's really good if that's against the defense. If that's against air,
that's not very good.
He's throwing in this pass skeleton, no defense, 7-on-7.
Yeah, it's just blind 7-on-7.
Yeah. If he's throwing 70% in that, that's not great.
We're just running through route trees. Yeah.
Yeah. No rusher. Nobody's running after him. No offensive line. No defensive line. He's just throwing post routes. He's going 70%. That's not great. But if he's 70% against the defense, that's pretty impressive. Even if it is just slants and screens and whatever else.
Yeah.
Or your defense.
Look, I won't be going to Midland for the spring games, put it that way.
That's this Saturday, I believe.
Yeah, this Saturday, which I have a good excuse to not be there because I'll be in the Metroplex. But yeah, I wouldn't go even if I was here. I don't care.
When's the last time you went to a spring game?
Oh man, the last spring game I went to was probably. It was probably when we had our show on the actual airwaves.
So 2019, 2018?
2019, 2018. Yeah, something like that.
Wasn't it in Midland?
Yeah, it would have been 2018 because 2019 didn't have a spring game. Right?
Yeah, they did. Why wouldn't they?
I thought 2019 is when COVID struck.
2020.
Okay, well.
Come on, man. March of 2020.
Yeah, okay.
How do you forget COVID? 2020 was the year, man. Yeah, we got
it all starts running together.
All right.
Ryan asked what did Roy said over under 2.5 QBs starting this year.
Over.
And is that like, are you talking about like in the spring game or are you talking about just in general in next season?
24 season.
You're going to start 2.5. You're saying over. You're going to have 3 quarterbacks that have to start again.
Yeah, since 2017, you've done it pretty much every year. So
yeah. Well, I just hope that Baron Morton can stay healthy.
Well, yeah, you hope. You hope, but you don't bet on hope.
Good point.
You bet on realistic. Columby, Duffy, Bowman, Shuck, Smith, Morton.
Yeah.
Shuck,
Morton,
Strong.
Oy.
I mean, you've had 3.
Hey, and look, I think that obviously I think they'll redshirt Will Hammond. Because what's the point of running a year for him?
Yeah.
I think you'll see him in maybe a couple games early in the season.
Hopefully, yeah.
But I think that Brown's going to be the backup quarterback.
That's what it seems like in the spring. Yeah.
He's taken a lot more snaps than Strong has. Yeah. I think that Strong might be 4th on the depth chart with those 3. The other 3.
If it's a long-term thing that he has to go in, I would say Strong over Hammond probably.
Yeah.
But if you're in a situation, if somebody's hurt and you're in a situation where you just need like the last drive or 2, it's probably Hammond.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that Brown is above, like if Baron Morton gets hurt, like Tyler Shuck did the last 2 years, I think that the guy that's coming in for Baron Morton will be Brown.
Yeah. I think so. Were all the picks in practice so far thrown by Strong? No, probably not.
Probably not all of them, but a lot of them. He doesn't read the defense very well.
Well, he's growing. He's learning. He was in a bad spot last year.
Yeah. So yeah, he was. That was just throw him into the fire kind of deal.
All right, that's all I have. Do you have anything else today that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, we don't need to talk about the Rangers. It's getting a little rough right now for them, but we kind of figured it would be this way a little bit early in the season, right? Like you got off to a really nice start. Don't get me wrong. Really nice start in the first week of the season, but things have started to cool down a little bit. You lose Josh Young. Your rotation's still not the best it can be or will be by the end of the year.
Frustrating to lose to the Astros and the A's.
Right. The frustrating part is losing to the A's.
The A's, they're both frustrating. The A's have won 6.
The Astros are a good team.
No, they aren't. Not this year. Not yet.
Neither the Rangers.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Even if they are good, it's frustrating to lose the Astros. What are you talking about?
I agree.
Are you a Rangers fan?
Yeah. I agree. It's frustrating to lose, but I'm more frustrated you lost a series to the A's. The A's are literally trying to tank.
They've won 6 of 8.
They're doing
doing
everything
really
they can to lose so that it's an easier exit out of Oakland, right? Like that's what they want. They are just putting out a roster that's like, yep, this might not even be a AAA roster. It's in some of these organizations. But look, sometimes baseball is a funny game, and when you're feeling good about it, and everybody's in that same clubhouse, and you're playing good baseball, your friends playing good baseball, the guy sitting 2 lockers away is playing his best baseball. It doesn't matter where you're at. Good baseball is good baseball, and when you're facing teams that are struggling, trying to find their identity, all those things, which is what the Rangers and the Astros to a certain extent are trying to figure out right now. Yeah, I think that the A's are going to be nowhere near the top of the division when it comes to it. But some of these teams like that are going to have their weeks where they play really good baseball. So, and then they're going to have their weeks like the first week of the season where their brand of baseball was absolutely pitiful. So,
I just hope you stay around 500 till the All-Star break.
Till you can get everybody back and healthy and everything starts kind of just moving along. I just hope Nathan Eovaldi can stay healthy through that and keep doing what he's been doing. I mean, yesterday he was okay. He just gave up the two swings to Altuve that he would want back.
If not, you won a World Series last year and it doesn't really matter.
That's exactly it. Like right now, we're just still riding high, baby.
Yeah.
We're riding high.
Yeah, we're fine.
I could care less if you look. I want to make the playoffs. Everybody wants to make the playoffs.
Yeah. I want to win.
You don't play the game. You don't play the game to not try and go win a World Series again. But if they don't do it in my lifetime again, I have seen the Rangers win a World Series. That's all I need.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm good for at least 5 years.
Yeah. Well,
I'd like to win another one.
Getting greedy.
All right. That's what I am. I've seen 3 Cowboys Super Bowls in my lifetime, technically, but I'd like another one of those too. It's been 27 years.
Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon.
That you know of. All right, so that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all I have. Roy said the Express didn't look too good on Saturday when he was there.
Yeah. I don't follow the Express.
So
I follow Frisco. Frisco touched up Verlander the other day.
Yeah, playing for the Corpus Christi Hooks and his rehab starts.
Yep. All right. We'll talk about it Wednesday.
Yep. Talk about everything. Peace.
Peace.